Okay, so this is question 2, 2016, part 2, 2.1. So you have to match A with the given malware. You have given a description. So the first one, person itself as a harmless and enters without the knowledge of the users and then could steal and or delete data. So it's spyware. That's a Trojan horse. And then collect information about the bank accounts or electronic accounts using emails and steal cash deposit by deceive the user. So that's called phishing. So sometimes they cheat on, giving them an interface which is same as the original, and the users will think that this is original account, and then they could steal. Unauthorized email and either related to advertisement about a product or from unknown person. So this is collects email addresses and they are unlawfully, which means we call it spam emails. So when we do not expect an email and people are sending, so this is come under spam emails. And then we have D, are capable of actively spreading along with the email attachment, false website instant messages, especially in the network environment, we call computer war. Okay, so I got answers from Jimendi. So let's move to the next one there. Let's say question number 2, part 2. Write down 2 methods for the proper disposal of electronic waste, e-waste. Now we know that it's a problem with this use of electronics devices, and then if you do not properly, dispose them, that will be a problem, right? So we discuss 3 R's, if you remember. Yes, 3 R. Now this is as 2 methods. And then it's disposal. So definitely then you have 2 methods. Yes. We talk about 3 R's when it comes to e-waste. First one, yes, reduce it. So that's not an answer, it's ask for disposal. You can reduce the use of electronic waste. Then you can reuse. So that is another one, that you can reuse it. So that's an answer. And what is the third one? Yes, recycling. So if you talk about 3 R's, we can talk about reduce it, do not use it, right? And if you use it, you may reuse or recycle. I got correct answers from Jimendi and Vishmi. Okay, let's move on to question number 2, part 2B. Write down any 3 recommended correct postures a user should adopt in order to minimize the adverse effects such as CVS, CTS, RSI. Yes. The question asks you 3 things. Computer vision syndrome. Yes. Now, when you like continuously, use the computer without any break, long hours, then you have irritation of the eyes. So this is known as computer vision syndrome. So you can have dry eyes, redness, tearing, blurred vision, pain, right? So the pain could be in head, neck, or back, right? So this is called computer vision syndrome. So what is the correct posture then? So it asks about the posture. Yes, the first of all, you use proper distance, right? When you are sitting, so you have to adjust the screen. We discussed that yes, you put the screen in the eye level or slightly below the eye level. Yes, Nilana. So that is one way to do this, and use a proper distance. It should be within like 18 to 28 inches. So with the proper distance, not too close. And then you are taking breaks, especially when you use the computer. We talk about this 20-20 rule. Every 20 minutes, you get a break of 20 seconds by looking at 20-meter distance. Right? So that is the posture, proper eye level, and also like keep the correct distance between the eyes and the screen. Right. So that's about computer vision syndrome. So I got correct answer from Nilan. Okay. So the next one, carpal tunnel syndrome, CTS. Yes. So sometimes when you keep on using your fingers, right, you will get a pain in the fingers. Sometimes the numbers, you don't feel anything. So this is used the pressure. Sometimes you use in the wrist, or use of incorrectly use of the keyboard or mouse, or keeping them in incorrect positions. This is called carpal tunnel syndrome. So especially when you work in long hours, you have to use it in a proper posture. First of all, you can use, first of all, you can use a correct posture. You can put the back straight, as Jimendi says, Taraka says, back straight. And then you keep the shoulders relaxed position and the wrists in the same level as the keyboard, right? Same level as the keyboard, so that it will not get a lot of pressure. So you have to be very careful about this. Let's move on to the repetitive stress injury, that is RSI. So what is RSI? So sometimes when you at incorrect position, you will get a pain from shoulder to your fingers, right? So sometimes you can't move the mouse because of this. Again, incorrect posture. So this is called repetitive stress injury. We call RSI. So to make this, make sure that you are using the legs in the vertical in the ground level. So that means the stress, and your sole should be flat, right? And then you relax. So that's for repetitive stress injury, right? So I guess you better look at this very carefully. Okay, so that's question number 2, part 2B. Let's move on to part 2C. Consider the following scenario. An information technology manager, IT manager of a company is also an active member of a voluntary organization which supports families of low income for education, healthcare, etc. Without the knowledge of the authorities, the company, he provides a list of email addresses of leading businessmen who are customers of his company to the voluntary organization in order to contact them for fundraising. Briefly explain why the act of IT management is unethical. So this behavior is called unethical. What do you mean by unethical? So this is to say that now without the consent of the users, you cannot give the data to a third party, right? Third party meaning now IT manager collects the information for his company. So giving to another person, that another person we call the third party. So you cannot share the data without consent of the users to the third party, right? So this is confidential data because data is personal. It's private. We can, it's a privacy, right? So use of this confidential data, uh, you know, sharing with third party without the consent of the users, it's considered as unethical. Okay, so that's C. Let's move on to the D. So next we move on to D. The computer hardware in an office are completely destroyed by fire. As a result, some important data in the storage devices have been lost forever. Not important, it should be data, right? So this is not the original. So let's look at, this is the original one. Important data in the storage device have been lost forever. Briefly explain the precautionary steps that could have been taken to avoid this loss of data. Yes. So to avoid this, you have to make what we call backups. Remember? What do you mean by backup? You keep a copy of the existing data. Where are you to keep it? In the same place? No, no, no. So you have to keep it in some other place. So you can keep a copy in a hard disk, external hard disk, or you can keep it as a CD or DVD or flash drive or a chip, or even you can use the cloud computing. You can use cloud storage to keep a copy. right? So you keep a copy some other place in different medium to avoid the loss of data. Okay, let's move to the next one. Question number 3. Each of the following statement has a blank space. Identify the most suitable term to fill in the blank space from the 3 options given within brackets at the end of the statement. Write down the question number and the relevant term in your answer book. Yes. In addition to an internet connection, space is essential component to publish a website. Yes, what do you mean by publishing? You put your content in some other server, isn't it? So which means it should be a, yes, web host, isn't it? It should be a web host. Host means you keep the relevant files in a web server. We call web host. B, space is used to creating a dynamic website. So what do you use to create dynamic website? File transfer protocol, we know that we use to transfer files, so this is not the answer. Web user group means group of users in a web. So people create groups for this. So the answer should be content management software. Content management software. Because CMS is sometimes like things like eTaxalab. So we develop using content management software. So you have dynamic content. C, text, images, and sounds are components of. Yes. We have web content, web host. Yes, domain name. Domain name is the name of the URL. So this is out. This is not the answer. Web host, you cannot have it because it's the server that will respond. So it should be web content. Yes, what is in the web, right? You can have text, images, videos, sound, and so on. So that should be web content then. Regular updating of a website is an important part of. Yes, it should be maintained. Protocols we discussed earlier, that's a set of rules to communicate among the computers, like HTTP, Hypertext Transfer Protocol, which used to share web pages, File Transfer Protocol to share the files. So protocol is not the answer, it's nothing to do with regular updating. Content management software we discuss, you can have dynamic content you can create in website. And the answer should be maintenance. So answers are A, web host, B, content management software, C, web content, and D, maintenance. Okay, so let's move to the second part of this. Maybe I will use the origin. Origin is not very clear, so that's why I have not used it. So this is the figure. Yes, this is the figure. The code in the figure 2 has 8 missing HTML tags or terms indicate by 1 to 8. Select the correct tags terms for the labels from the list. We have SRC, justify, title, caption, H2, href, P, font. Write down the label number and the correct HTML term. So let's start the first one. So within the head, we have the first one and then head. So what is the first one? Yes, that is nothing to do with the web. So this is head. Within the head, what do we have to have? What is one? Yes, one could be one of these. Yes, so this is what we have. Head. What is inside? It could be SRC, justify, title, caption, H2, href, P, font. Jimendi, can you recheck the answer? Dira, you also recheck the answer. Yes, we know that there are two main parts in the HTML document, that is head and a body. So within head, usually we will have title, isn't it? So this is the title of the page. So the one should be, yes, it should be title, no? So this should be title. So this should be title. Yes. Then we have body. Then human elephant conflicts of Sri Lanka. So there are 3 tags, 2, 3, 4. What could be 2, 3, 4? What could be 2, 3, 4? Yes. The second one could be H2 because it's a header and only heading tag is H2, right? We have H2. Because of that, either 2 or 3 could be H2. What is the next one, do you think? It's not given in the list. I think the 3 proper answer should be, it's not given in the list. Is what? You can use, yes. Now it's a header, right? And you change the color and the shape. What should happen to the header? If you just use the header, it's left aligned, right? So I think the answer could be for the third should be center, but unfortunately it's not there, right? So in the exam, actually they have given for 2 and 3 both, they have given the answer as H2. But that the proper answer should be H2, then it should be centered, and then to change the color and the font type, we can use font. Okay, so that is a bit of a confusing one. Let's move on to the next one. How about fifth one? It's easy. Yes, img, the 5, the space. So this is easy. So it should be definitely source. So SRC. I got the correct answers from Jimendi, Dheera, and Nilana. Good. Next, what do you have? Let's look at this. Next, what do you have? So you have this part, and this is given it here, 6 and 7. So we have a tag name is 6, alignment given as 7. So you go and look at here the alignment and this. So what is 6 and 7?